Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will my days fly away without seeing you, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing you, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for through. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for you. Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will my days fly away without seeing you, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing you, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for you.
Yeah.
Nobody
One
else
more.
is good. One
Yeah,
more.
it's okay. God is there. I am there to listen.
अजो अनन्ताय नित्याय शुद्धाय सच्चिदानन्द नन्द गुरो अजो अनन्ताय नित्याय शुद्धाय सच्चिदानन्द नन्द गुरो Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Satchidananda Nanda Guru Om Namo Narayanaya Harihara Shashishekharaya Namo Narayanaya Harihara Shashishekharaya Parabrahma Ananda Guru सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु अजो अनंताय नित्याय शुद्धाय सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु 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 सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु नमो नारायणाय हरिहर शशिशेखराय परब्रह्म आनंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु
In our house,
Yes, uncle.
you can have a weekly satsang. A
Yes,
few
uncle.
people, or two, three, even if two, three people, it's okay.
Ah,
Then you send your contact to, online also
yes, uncle.
to all your groups. Not in
Yes.
Chinmay Mission, don't
Ah,
put
ah,
your
ah, ah,
group
ah,
online at your house every
ah.
week,
Yes,
because
uncle.
you are good at singing and explaining also.
I was actually
So
thinking, uncle, for my own YouTube channel, and also like as you are saying, also offline. Also, I will start with Bhaja Govindam because that will be like
yes, you start it at your house.
because I know the full chanting of Bhaja Govindam actually,
Once
and
once a week,
uh, Yes, uncle.
You start and then slowly
Oh,
Gita. You don't have to do all the Gita.
ah.
Like Sharda is doing to some group. Selected verses also you can do,
Okay, uncle. Essence
or
of Gita.
or do second chapter alone completely.
Ah.
Then select verses.
Sure, uncle.
Second chapter completely,
Yes,
then
uncle.
select verses and do. Like
Uh,
that, you
ah,
do. You know why I'm telling?
ah.
Because you have a good voice, your knowledge is excellent, your exposition also excellent.
Okay, uncle.
When you become old, you will have enough people to support you. You
Yes,
can
yes.
start a small ashram for yourself, which will give
Ashram.
less. No, no, no. It
Uh,
is not only good for you because when you become old, you are a bachelor.
right,
So
right.
an ashram is good. Some people will be there.
Correct, correct.
Plus, plus, it will help others also to stay.
Correct, uncle. Because even in this Tetri operation, they say along with the sadhana, one must do preaching and that thing also.
That's what I'm telling. So
Pravachan
you
and Uchipa.
you you make a beginning now.
Sure, uncle. Sure, uncle. Soon I will start, uncle.
Doctor has come. One more bhajan.
One more bhajan. Uh,
Chinnadu.
जय गुरु ओमकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओमकारा जय गुरु ओमकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओमकारा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा हर 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 महादेवा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा हर 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 महादेवा हर हर देवा हर 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 महादेवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा जय गुरु ओमकार जय जय सद्गुरु ओमकार ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 देवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा जय गुरु ओंकार जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकार
Good. Narayana. We'll start the class. सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः Hari Om. Just two small hints on the earlier Ashwamedha Yaga. Two things I would like to say. One, how does it become sacrifice to the self? Two, how is it death that covers? I have hinted them, but I would like now specifically to say, because these are the 2 points there. See,
What's the second question, Uncle? I didn't get it.
Ji, Venkat?
What was the second question?
Second point, how is Hiranyagarbha death? How is Hiranyagarbha death? Right? I have touched on them, but I would now like specifically to say about them because these two are the most important points there. See, the basic principle of Upasana is the mind takes the form of what it thinks. And when it go on doing Upasana and Hiranyagarbha, as here, as the horse is time, with boundaries of Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, born in Mula Prakriti, water, Samudra, in it or the entire universe in that, all that when you contemplate, the mind takes that form, and as your rituals, karma fructify, rituals and meditation fructifies, you yourself become Hiranyagarbha. You become what you are meditating on. Then what happens? It was said earlier, Hiranyagarbha, Virat, they do not forget that they are Brahman. They don't change. And therefore, when you, through meditation and rituals, have become Hiranyagarbha, you now know all this, what you did, Upasana as Ashwamedha, all the universe, is your own mind. The details are your mind. They expressed in your mind. And mind is nothing but the consciousness with objects. And objects themselves, because imagined, are mind. Therefore, you recognize you, even as the mind and the object, is consciousness. Is consciousness. And then what happened? The mind and all the details have merged into the consciousness. That is what it says. Sacrificing yourself to the self, or Ashra to the self, sacrificing Hiranyagarbha to the self. That is what it says. I just want to pass and ask Dr. Venkat, are there any gaps in this, or is it clear?
I think it is too subtle a concept to tell you right now that it is clear. It is more like an intellectual framework that I'm able to see what you're telling me. There are question is, when we say, the first question that propped up was, you realize that you even as the mind and objects is consciousness, or you become Hiranyagarbha. Now, this question of you or I is, that is I cannot express it clearly, but that question of who is this, my concept of I that I'm assuming, because at the level of, if I am Brahman or I am not all of this, these questions don't even come. It's only the transactional I that has all these upasana and all this concept. So where is this link that we are talking about? That particular link is what I'm not sure about.
When I am doing meditation, Though, as you rightly said, I am doing it as an individual ego, right? But as I meditate, go on meditating, I take the form of what I am meditating. Therefore, the ego also merges in that. I start, as you rightly said, as an ego. I am meditating. I am different. Right? I start. But as I go on meditating on that, I become what I am meditating, because basic principle is mind takes the form of what it meditates. Man essentially is his mind. Two sentences. Mind takes the form of what it meditates, and man is essentially the mind. So this ego which is meditating on Hiranyagarbha becomes Hiranyagarbha. In the process, the ego ends. The ego ends. And when he becomes Hiranyagarbha, he is conscious, that is the consciousness, and all these are his mind. The creation is his mind. He knows. So all the plurality is his mind. When he knows that it's all his mind, where is the plurality? The plurality disappears because he knows it is his mind. And when plurality objects disappear, the mind is nothing but consciousness. Therefore, the entire universe, the horse, everything is sacrificed to the self by implication.
Sure. Uncle, do you mind if I have some back and forth questions during this session?
Doctor, for me, you have to speak little slow. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. No, is it okay if we have back and forth questions during these sessions?
Back and?
If we have some questions,
Yeah.
if I can ask you questions during these sessions. If I can ask you some questions.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, at this time,
see, you have to ask as many questions as possible, and I have to answer, and you have to give okay. Otherwise, what happens is, I have been misleading you. You understand?
no. There's
No,
no
no, no.
misleading
I'm
here.
telling you. So,
Yeah.
if any doubts are there, when you ask and you say okay, then I am clear. I have not misled. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Please ask.
No, that's because I didn't want to interrupt your thought flow either.
No,
So,
now I am giving you a chance to ask.
sure. So, at this point of time, for many devotees, especially someone like me, it is more a saguna upasana, which is,
Yes.
You have a deity and you are doing japa to the deity, japa of
Yes.
the deity.
Yes.
And I can see some links of what you're saying in that, you are all the names and forms that you see in the outside world, the entire universe, you're bringing in the form of the deity.
Yes.
And you are saying the deity as everyone. And the point emotionally, what I'm trying to invoke in me is that it is all the Devi's world, Devi's work, and I am nothing but an instrument in Devi, and it is her will and her wish that is happening.
Not an instrument.
Yeah.
That is a devotee.
Correct. That's the point that I'm doing right now. Okay.
No, he doesn't believe he is an instrument. He is meditating on Hiranyagarbha. He is meditating on Hiranyagarbha as though he is different. Hiranyagarbha is different. But because in that period, Vedic period, there was no personal God, devotion didn't come into picture. Right? Though later Upasana itself is also devotion, but in that period it didn't come into picture. So he is meditating, and as he meditates longer and longer, the mind takes the form of what it's meditating, because there is always a connection between the name and the form. When I say Ashwa, you cannot just hear. Ashwa comes to your mind. And that Ashwa, when I say is Hiranyagarbha, your mind takes the form of the Ashwa, and you know it is Hiranyagarbha. Gradually, your mind, even without your effort, becomes the Ashwa, which is Hiranyagarbha. And when your mind is all the time identified with that Hiranyagarbha, you yourself feel you are the Hiranyagarbha, because mind, complete mind is yourself. If everything is, in this world, everything in this world is hypnotizing only. You are believed, you are made to believe you are the son of your mother and father. Right? What is that? You were made to believe. And after some time, that becomes you. Right? So also, as you are meditating, the mind becomes the Hiranyagarbha, and Hiranyagarbha knows he is the consciousness. So, therefore, there the duality ends. Hiranyagarbha becomes the consciousness. Up to then, duality is there, meditator and the meditated. Right? When he knows I am consciousness, duality ends. But this is a rare case in Upasana where the object is sacrificed to the self. Rare case. Normally in Upasanas, they only take the form of that devotee, that deity. Normally in Upasana, this is a rare case. That is why here Shankara comments, Sri Shankara, I don't want to say Shankara, Sri Shankara comments, right, that you have two options. One, to do physical upasana of the Ashwamedha, that means you have to do the ritual. Second, the same ritual can be done mentally. Only when you do mentally, this can happen. When you don't do mentally, it prepares the mind. It prepares the mind to become Hiranyagarbha, right? Slowly, it's a process. But it involves the physical action, means violence, everything is there. Right? So, though there is a possibility you can become Hiranyagarbha, but it doesn't still merge in the self. Whereas when you do mentally, it merges in the self. This Ashwamedha was done by kings also. They didn't have this Krama Mukti or merging. It is only their declaration, I am the emperor. Right? So therefore, Sri Shankara says, because of the whole theme of the Upanishad, Shankara says, this can be done mentally also, and offer the Hiranyagarbha to the self. And he clearly says, other offerings like goat and all that are offered to the deities, different deities. Now, therefore, there are two offerings, one for the deities and one for yourself. Deities are all other things, goats and all that, because there is physical this thing. This actually in modern days, because of probably our great Sri Shankaracharya. This goat and all that have disappeared now, but Bali is still there in all temples. 3 times food is taken, kept at all the corners. Bali Peetam is there. Because when you do prana pratishtha, you have to give ahara. Because there is prana in that. Right? Prana in a body needs ahara, though he is God. Though he is God. So therefore, other gods Bali is given. But the man who does mental upasana on Ashwa as the Hiranyagarbha, he takes the form of the Hiranyagarbha and discovers as Hiranyagarbha, I am nothing but the consciousness. When he knows that he is nothing but consciousness, Ashwa and all the universe, everything becomes consciousness. And I want to tell you, this is not for, because I know you, this is not for you at all. These topics, whatever topics is not for you, not for any Chinmaya Mission people, in fact. Right? Because Chinmaya Mission people do not need these cumbersome things. They can do japa, purify their minds with Tishta Devata, study the Upanishads, and get jnana. So Chinmaya Mission people don't do it. Then you should ask me, why are you wasting your time? Wasting our time if you don't need it. Right? You should know that all these rituals, all these various karmas, whatever you can get through them is still finite. And the finite I don't want. So all this is done to give you the conviction, the best of things through action, rituals are all finite, I don't need it. When you say Chinmaya Mission people don't need it, they can do japa, Ishta Devata and get jnana. Theoretical, 90% don't get it. You know why? Still they have a lot of value for the world. So these upasanas, what we are doing, clearly at every stage he wants, this is finite, this is finite. The best you can get is finite. Best you can get through rituals and all that is Brahmaji. He ridicules that itself, right? Virata Purusha, he ridicules. So to get that conviction which all of us need, we have to go through this.
Is that what is meant when they say Karmajan Vidditan Sarvan?
Ji?
Is that what is meant in the 4th chapter? Karmajan Vidditan Sarvan. Is that the phrase meant for this?
No. I didn't hear the Sanskrit terms. Please.
Karmajan Vidhi Tan Sarvan.
Yeah, Karmaja. This is the all born out of action. He is going to dismiss one by one, including the castes in the earth, castes in the Devaloka. He is going to dismiss all of them. The whole Upanishad, that is the spirit. He shows us what you can get through rituals. You want it, you can do. He clearly says you can get this. But he wants you as a father, like telling his son, why do you want this? It's cumbersome, involves himsa, and still you get finite. Do you want this? For that he takes that. And many of us even Chinmaya mission people, I said we don't need it. They are the people who need it because our mind still hankers of karma phala results. Our mind still, however much I am telling people in all my classes, very important discussion, so I don't mind if I don't do the text also, right? Very important. However much I tell people, do not worry about all your sadhanas. Develop love for God. These sadhanas become natural. You don't have to struggle for them. When you are concentrating on sadhanas, still the ego is there. I am doing this, I am doing that. And the results are in future. Mind is in the future. Mind is in the future. So the results are long, prolonged purification and all that. Whereas you develop devotion to God, try to understand Him through the scriptures and Guru's vakyas, it's faster instead of bothering about sadhana. Then why sadhana is given? Because many people can't understand what I am saying. They need sadhana. When you can't understand what I am saying, your mind is too preoccupied with worldly things. That has to be pruned. They need sadhana. A man who can understand what I am telling, he doesn't need the sadhana as it is said. His only sadhana is to discover love for God and become, because the basic principle of love is you become one with the beloved. That is the same principle in Upasana also. But when I said this statement, you understand. But that statement takes time. In love also, the identification, two things in love. Identifying with the beloved and spontaneously sacrificing your identity with the beloved. Up to now, I love coffee, right? And my girlfriend doesn't love coffee. After that, my habits change. I don't love coffee, right? Now you try to relate this to Ashwamedha Yaga, both these statements, you will understand exactly this what they are telling. Right? This is exactly what they are telling. Your mind takes that form and you become that by sacrificing. There the language is different, that's all. Right? These are the basic principles. So, when a man is too much of material things, whenever he thinks of God, Gita classes, moksha, he still has some concept and he wants to achieve something through action. He cannot believe. By mere knowledge, trying to meditate on that, he can become. His mind is wandering everywhere. He needs sadhana, dedicated activities. From egocentric activities, he has to start doing dedicated activities. So the vasanas are reduced. For a person who can understand what I say, the only sadhana is love God, listen to His glories in the Shastras. Shravana Manana Nidhyasana is not a dry listening, it's all His glory. Shravana Manana Nidhyasana is not dry listening, it's all His glory. Develop love for Him, listen to His glories. Path is sweet, simple, immediate. Sweet, simple, and immediate.
I think I'm able to understand this.
Yeah. Any more questions you have?
No, I this is the concept because what was happening is I think two reasons. One is I'm writing when we speak, so I'm not able to get into the spirit of the whole thing completely because my
Yeah.
mind is, I mean, I'm focusing, making sure that I'm not missing anything.
No,
So,
that's why I went back 6 classes
yeah,
before and started today
yeah,
because this is important. No point in skipping this.
correct. And the second problem was because this is a completely new paradigm.
Yeah.
It is, it is not like I'm not used to this paradigm of thinking, so
Yeah.
it's taking me a while to slowly get absorbed, but now I can slowly see the connection between the upasana marga that came a little bit later with the bhakti side and the earlier upasana marga in the Upanishad. What is the connection? I'm able to see a little bit now.
Because of not having this knowledge only, I don't know whether you remember, but your memory is too good, you will remember. When I came to Bombay, 13th day ceremony of your father, and later also in some other Brahmins functions, I said this: all of you are well versed in dharma, following dharma, right? But you should know that is a means you have to go little above it.
I so distinctly remember that. Last time was Aditya's wedding when we sat there and we had a conversation.
Yes,
You said specifically you have to get about over dharma.
yes. So that is why this whole Brudarnika is need. All that is almost dharma. Relative plane, whatever you are doing in the name of God is only dharma.
Yes, that intuitively I'm able to understand the spirit behind that discussion, but
Yeah.
better now than before. Again,
See, yeah, for you actually this is a punishment because I know you too well, right? You don't need this, but you have to know this to help people to understand the limitations of their pursuits. When your students come to you, still they are not able to understand you, that means their mind is still not ready to listen to you. They have a lot of other obsessions. You have to discover as a doctor, spiritual doctor, and then try to analyze this and give the prescription. Right? Otherwise, you don't need this. Even we need, you know why? Right now, we think we don't need. As we are progressing, doubt starts coming up. Doubt starts coming up. So, to remove those doubts, you need all these.
yes,
The compassion of Yagnavalkya, Shankara, the commentator in this book, is as they are telling, they are doing the manana for us. You don't have to struggle to do the manana. Right? So that is the Ashwamedha. Then he said about fire god. Fire is the visible deity. And it is believed that what you offer in fire reaches the gods and even Pitrus. Somebody asked Mahapariva, how does what I give here reach the gods and my parents? As only Mahapariva could answer this, he said, when you give a money order, you give the money here. How does it reach there in Bombay? You understand? Money is given here. How does it reach Bombay? Same way, what you give here is reaches the gods and the parents. So that is Agni Upasana, which is the Pratyaksha Devata, and the very name of Agni is Agre Nayati. Agre in the front, Nayati leads. Agre Nayati. It means it takes your offerings also, it leads. It takes you yourself to the devas and all that. Your Pitru Loka, your Swarga Loka, all that is got through that. Upasana. Right? And that is why in Ishavasya Upanishad, the prayer, because the last 4 verses in the Ishavasya is prayer to Hiranyagarbha. Agni itself being a Hiranyagarbha, he prays, "O Agni, now I am going to pass away. Take me in the right path. You are my leader. Take me in the right path. Do not make me go through the crooked paths. Agne
Yes.
Naya Supatha." Right? So that is the thing of Agni. Now, these two gods, Hiranyagarbha and Agni, when you do Upasana, it may have its results, but still they are at the concept level and your faith makes you do it. They are at concept level, your faith makes you do it. But there is something tangible, visible, acceptable, prana. Because fire is, though tangible, is outside you. You have to imagine the relationship. Prana, you don't have to imagine the relationship. Prana, you don't have to imagine it's in you. And then how can I accept it as Deva Virat? Because without it, you don't have life itself. It takes the food, it doesn't eat by itself. It does the digestion for you, and then it circulates throughout the limbs. Unwanted portion, it takes away excretion, and it helps you to think. When the prana goes, when the life goes, it takes you and deposits in the astral plane. It coordinates between your karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. Right? Visible God, is it not?
Yes.
Visible God. You don't need much logic for this. So therefore, this upasana is the best. Up to now, of the 3. Later, some other upasana is coming. Right? Of the 3, this is the closest. And now, what are the characteristics of prana? How does it help you? And what exactly is its daivatvam is all said in this pranopasana. He says, how much is the time? Oh, God is too kind. I thought we don't have time. It's only 35 minutes. So I can do today pranopasana.
Okay. What's the verse number, Uncle?
Yama, verse section 3, 1-3. 1-3. Right?
Yeah, I got it.
Dvaya prajapatyaha. Prajapatyaha, Sanskrit, Prajapati's children are called Prajapatyaha. Dvayaha, 2. Prajapati's children are 2. Who are they? Deva, Asurascha, gods and Asuras. Prajapati is the creator. Everything is created by them. So all are his children. Right? Your good thoughts, bad thoughts, who is the father? Both good thoughts and bad thoughts. Who is the father? You can't blame your father. They both belong to you. You have both the good and the bad thoughts. Right? All of us have. Why do all of us have good and bad? First of all, you have to understand what is good and what is bad. Right? Good thoughts lead you to freedom from death and sorrow. Bad thoughts pull you down to death and sorrow. How? Death and sorrow is matter. Freedom from death and sorrow is spirit. Right? Why I today did lot of things, not started the text, because Sharada didn't come. Now only she has come. Right? So you understand what is good and bad? They are not outside. They are very much inside. And why they are there? Because matter and spirit, both are in you. Why God kept both in you? Because you need matter to transact. You need spirit to support. Therefore, He kept both. You are having an unintelligent relationship and therefore you suffer. Matter has no problem. Spirit has no problem. But you are having an unintelligent relationship. Right? Depend on matter for your security and enjoyment, forgetting it is a necessary vehicle for you to reach your own self, your own divinity, to know that this is the hardware. I can't depend upon that. If software is there, hardware is useful. Even if hardware is not there, if I have software, I can search another software and use it. But no software, only hardware, what will you do? Right? So therefore, God has not done anything wrong at any stage. He cannot do. You, when you tune yourself to your spirit, you become Deva. Because Jyotanath illumines. When you tune yourself to matter, I have known people putting lot of fat, belly, and I ask them, because I am very sensitive, whomever I see, even first time I see, in a marriage or in a Rotary meeting, I straight point out to their belly. I don't keep quiet. That's my obsession. When I ask them sometimes, why I don't eat at all, and in their homes, and what is there in front of them? All the times, small snacks go on putting it. 24 hours. How this man is available for higher thinking? If he is obsessed with this, if he is obsessed with this, where is his mind for better things? Oh, should I not eat? Eat well. Gita says, tasty food you eat, it says, Ratsyam. Ratsyam is tasty food. It doesn't say don't eat. And it also says eat clean and tasty food. Snigdham Ratsyam. Snigdham Rasyam. Then why are you criticizing? No, you are harming yourself. Food is meant to give you life. You are killing yourself. Out of love for you, I am telling. When I said I am obsessed with the stomach, out of love for them, because I know they will suffer. Right? So, Gita 6th chapter says, eat good food, eat tasty food, eat clean food, but should not affect you, affect your mind, affect your health. So, yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya, moderation in everything. Moderation in everything. Right? So, therefore, matter, food, whatever God created is all beautiful. You are having an unintelligent relationship. Must be very clear to all of you, because lot of people will go on asking you questions, various things. Right? You have to answer. The Saturday class I take, I don't go into these details. I just say and they all understand. They have no problem. You know why? They are not Dr. Venkat to question. Right? So therefore, Asuras and Devas are your own children. Like Kauravas and Pandavas had the common source. Right? What is the common source? Brahman, Maya, three gunas. Sattva guna, Vidura. Rajo guna, Pandu. Tamo guna, Dhritarashtra. Same lineage. Father is also same. Right? Vichitra Virya or later Veda Vyasa. Right? But three gunas. Right? So all of us have the three gunas. You need all the three gunas. Again, unintelligent relationship. If you can't take rest, you cannot work next day. You have to sleep. Tamas you need. Only thing is, people like me sleep a lot. That's different. I am blessed. I get up at very late. And I have a friend, Hitesh, also. We are blessed, Hitesh.
Uncle, I've noticed one thing. Night time is very good for contemplation and also study of scriptures, Uncle.
That is why I do that. But also 2 hours in between I got your professor Dr. Murugesan. I went to him 69 when I had small attack, BP. I told him, sir, I sleep a lot. He said, you are a funny fellow. Why? At your age, people come to me complaining I am not able to sleep. At your age, people come to me, I am not able. You are sleeping. What is there to complain? See, at least when I am sleeping, I don't harm others, Okay, apart from jokes. So, both you have, this you should realize. Not only for Brudaryanika, all your life, you find somebody is good, somebody is bad. The man A, Mr. A, you say is a bad fellow. But you are B. Mr. C says he is my best friend. He is a good man. Now is Mr. A bad or good? For B, he sees his mind in them. For C, he sees his mind in him. So the good and the bad, the Sura and Asura, even the others, when you judge, you are only judging yourself. That's why a famous English sentence, when Peter talks about Paul, he talks more about Peter than Paul. Understand? So this is very important. The enemy is not outside. That is why Dharmaraja is called Ajata Shatru. No enemy is born to him because he can't see anybody bad. You try, accept everybody from their own standpoint, even when they do wrong. He is growing. He is growing. He has some problem. As I learned from the ICF class, no happy man hurts another man. I learned from my class in ICF. No happy man hurts another man. So he has some problem. Be sympathetic. Show love. You won't have any enemy. Ajata Shatru you will become. See, this one small thing I am telling you all that because very important. Other classes I won't do this much. I will just say Kauravas and Pandavas are in you and go off. Right?
In the third Anuvaka of Sri Rudram uncle,
Yes.
I'm sure you know, in the third Anuvakam of Sri Rudram, everything that is otherwise bad, he is described as that.
It is?
Rudra is described as everything that is bad outside.
Yes.
You know, what is bad.
Yeah.
Like Nishangine Ishudimate Taskaranam Pataye, Vanchate Parivanchate, Stayunam Pataye, meaning the cheat of cheats, the people who's going and killing, everything is also, Rudra is described as that also.
Yes, you know that Ekadas Rudra, Rudra is called thief, Stena.
Yeah. Stenanam Pataye is, you know.
Stenanam, you are the leader of thieves.
Yeah.
Rudra is the leader of thieves because you need them. You need them. Without evil in the world, how will you master your mind? Evil is the laboratory chemicals given to you by all loving Lord to master your mind. Now don't see anybody as bad, anybody as enemy. They take the bad name. I told this in ICF class 45 years back. They take the bad name, come to help you. Right? And what happens in the process? When you get this attitude, you are totally at peace. That is Jnana. Judgment stops, accept all. That's called surrender. Right? So you have, Prajapati had 2 children, you also have 2 children. I told you, tamas you need to sleep. Rajas you need to work. Sattva you need to plan. Sattva is intellect. Rajas is physical body acting. Tamas is sleeping. You need all the 3. You don't keep a right relationship, therefore you have problems. You need all the 3. And my friend Einstein's statement again, God doesn't play dice. Understand? When he does something, there is a positive purpose. So, tataha kaniyasa eva devaha. Devas are few in number, jayasa asuraha. The asuras. Asuras are not, you see in cartoons with horns protruding this thing. No. Anybody who is materialist is called a asura. 3 people. Rakshasas are not mentioned in our scriptures because the person who comes to study scriptures, he can never be a Rakshasa. He can be either Asura or Sura. Asura is materialist. Sura has higher values. Sura, he believes in Shastra, Janita, jnana karma bhavitaha. They believe in the scriptural injections. Shruti is their pramana. Asuras, pratyaksha. Immediately I see, I eat masala dosa, immediately I am happy. Pratyaksha. I cheat somebody, I get money. Pratyaksha. Right? Pratyaksha drushta, seen. Janita, karma, jnana, bhavitaha. Those who believe in the seen alone, they are asuras. Those who believe in the shastras, they are called suras. Right? There are two. One are less in number. Always somebody say, oh, this Vedanta, I'm not able to progress, very difficult. Very difficult. Naturally, LKG is rhymes, Baba Black Sheep. When you go to PhD, it is difficult only. How will you get something great without being difficult? You have to decide what you want. Right? So they are few in number. The asuras are more in number. Asuras are only materialists. And they saw, suras saw, these asuras are more, they will conquer us. So let us try to invoke God, because Shastra Janita. Right? So they asked each one limb to chant. First they asked Vachu. Vacha is your organ of speech, tongue. Come and chant Udgita. It chanted. Asuras knew these people through this will conquer us. They immediately came and polluted it. Immediately. How you will get polluted? I want to go to class, Chinmaya Mission class. Immediately somebody says, hey, come on, let's go to the bar. That is the asura taking you, pollutes you. And you are weak. You succumb. So all these other deities, Vak, eyes, ears, they succumb to temptations. They are the asuras. Asuras are the temptations. Eyes, ears, nose, they are all succumb to that. Right? And the bad odor that comes is because asuras are polluted. The bad things that you see is because asuras have polluted your eyes. The bad things you hear because asuras have polluted the ears. You understand? So all the five, I don't have to read. You can read it and understand. I'm not missing anything, right? All the five organs, they chant, but asuras come and poke them. They get affected. Now it's the time of the prana. When prana starts chanting, ata ha imasanyam pranamuchuhu tomna udgayeti. They said, prana, you chant. You chant. And then tateti is that, yes, okay. Tebhya yesha prana udgayate. Prana started chanting the Udgita. Udgayate. Te viduhu anena vai udgatrana apyantiti. Asuras knew through this prana will overtake us. Tam abhidrutya, running towards his papmana vivyasat. That is, they ran towards it and tried to poke it, try to throw papa into prana. Right? When they tried to corrupt prana, the entire asuras and their bhava has become a powder like clod of earth striking a rock. All the senses failed, prana succeeded. Why? All the senses are extrovert. Prana is living for others. Prana is living for others. When you live for the ego, you are marching towards death. When you live for others, you are marching towards immortality.
Uncle, how do we say prana lives for others?
Yama?
How do we say prana lives for others? How is that connection, that sentence?
Yes, you see, prana takes the food. Your hand takes the food because of the prana, puts in the mouth, and it goes, it's digested. Food is taken by the prana, given to the tongue. It masticates, sends it to the digesting system, digested by the prana, digested food circulated through the body. Is it not living for all others? Prana. Right? Te hochuhu so ahuyo na ityam asakteti. This God said, where was he who has saved us? Where was he who saved us? They are now inquiring. They are now inquiring. They find it in various limbs. He is within the mouth. Vital in the mouth is called Angirasa. Angirasa means Vayu Prana. Anganam hi rasaha. Anganam hi rasaha. He is the very essence in all the limbs. And he is called Dur because it saves all the senses, takes beyond death. How? The senses, the deity is in the senses, the power to see is in the deity. They normally say it is sun, right? They identify with the eye. They have lost their identity as gods. This prana, when it's saved, they could detach from the I, discover that they are the deities. I is being matter, eye, air, nose, and all that, go through death. Devas relatively don't go through death. Therefore, prana is called dur because it takes dura. You know, we also use duram, away from death. And it takes vayu, vak, and it becomes prathama. It becomes fire. Presiding deity of vak is fire. Swamiji says, cold countries, they don't speak much. Only we, tropical countries, speak much because fire is the deity. And therefore, Swamiji says, fiery speech. Fiery speech. So, preceding deity is fire. So, this vak now becomes the fire. Similarly, each of the senses. I become the ear. Sun. Ear becomes the directions. Each of them gain their own godhood, and it says this prana is the lord of Brahman, Yajus. Speech is Brahman, Yajus. And the vital force is the Lord. Vital force is the Lord of speech and is the Yajus. Vagvai Brahma, this speech is also Brahma. Tasya Yeshapatihi, and the speech is the Lord of the speech, and therefore he is called Brahmanaspatihi. And he is Sama. No, these are all, what they call it, edifying prana. There's not much here. Edifying prana, he is Sama, he is gold, he is Brihaspati, he is Angirasa, edifying. And later, there's only one more topic in this, that also I will tell. You can read it. All these limbs, now they become friend of prana. So they go to prana, you are getting food, we are starving, please give us. Figuratively they put it. All the time prana is only giving. For you to understand why it is God, why it is immortal. The various limbs go, you are eating food, we are starving. Prana didn't say, it's your problem. No. Come on. Sit all around me. All around me. And shares the food. What it means. When you turn towards God, when you turn to the higher this thing, you are courting immortality, the food. You get everything from nature. You get everything from nature, from God. Everybody is selfish. World will vanish in no time. Because some people are producing, some people are enjoying. It's not vanishing. So, who are the people producing? Those who turn to totality. Those who are egoistic, they waste their time in only worrying. Right? So prana is living for totality, tuned to totality. When you turn towards that, devan bhavayatenena, te deva bhavayantuha, parasparam bhavayantaha, sreyaha, aptaha, right? Mutually. So they turn towards that and prana feeds them. With that, prana upasana is over. Right? Next comes Purusha Vida Brahmana. That is, broad outline is Ashwamedha Yaga. Then something visible, fire, because in Yaga fire is used. Something closer in you which you can feel prana. Then now they make you see your entire person as God, Purusha. Purusha Vida Brahmana. That is the next thing which is beautiful, especially 4, 7 and 10. 1, 4, 7 and 10 are extremely beautiful. Next week we will see, and we will go to the famous thing Maitreya Brahmana. Maitreya and Yajnavalkya. Next week we will try to close the Madhukanda, because all the things that you have to know I have already given you. Now I can rush through, right? Not that I have to rush through. I will never do it. If I feel something I have to say, I will say it. Right? I will never skip 2 only to save time. But, I can tell the same thing without repetitions. That's all. As usual, doctor, if you have doubts, please ask. Because if I have clarified all your doubts, I have done justice to the book. I have done justice to the book. I did not cheat my guru. Understand? Right? Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे